Good morning and welcome to Rivals Tears. Do you know what? I started that 5 minutes late, and we've got JSEK in the comments saying, "Start stream, man." Bro, do you not know Never a Foul are usually about 20 minutes late, right? 8:30 in the morning, 8:30 in the morning, yeah, and I'm starting it 4 minutes late, and you're moaning in the comments, yeah. What the fuck? Come on. There's no watershed on here. Come on, man. Give me a break. It's 8:30 in the morning. I'm starting it 5 minutes late. I don't see Cass get all that when he's starting it. He's starting it 20 minutes late. Monts is rocking up 40 minutes late. 8:30 in the morning, and you want to moan. Anyway, welcome to Never a Foul. This is Rivals Tears. See that? I even started it before I started the intro. That's how much you pissed me off with that comment. 8:34, and you're going. In fact, do you know what? You put it at 8:31. 8:31. 1 minute before we're due. 1 minute due. 1 minute. See how pissed off I am. 1 minute after we're supposed to start the stream, and you were already moaning about start the stream. Listen, I got bad hay fever as well. That's that season's about as well. I'm going to get the injection this year. Place in Bedford, you can go and pay to get the injection. I'm going to do that, man, because this hay fever is not a joke. You can see it in my eyes as well. Anyway, listen. Happy Wednesday, people. Morning, Malcolm. Dapper Daps. Yeah. A lot to talk about. Games last night. Manchester United losing 1-0 to Nottingham Forest. Andy's going to be on, I'm pretty certain. We got someone in already. Why not? We'll get him straight in. Good morning.
Morning, Dabs. How are you?
Long time no speak. I recognise that voice.
Yeah, it's Elijah, the Chelsea
fan.
I
know, but the way you've got your name written, it's different.
Oh yeah, that's my first name on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you saying? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Obviously, enjoyed the football last night?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, that Man United are just terrible right now, but not to the Forest. They didn't need to do anything because all it did was their tactics was score the first goal and just play a low block. And they said to United, try and break us down, and they didn't. And
exactly that.
Manchester United haven't played a game last weekend. Forest went away to Brighton, played 120 minutes of football, and of course they're into the semi-finals because they've won on penalties, but they played on the weekend. Man United last game was about 2 weeks ago, and they've lost to them. Like, it's just terrible right now.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? I think if I was a United fan, the most frustrating thing is, how Nottingham Forest play, right? Nottingham Forest are going to hit you on the counter. Man United allowed it to happen so early in the game. And that's it. That's it. That Nottingham Forest are more than happy to go 1-0 up. In fact, I predicted 1-0 Forest, by the way. And I didn't see it coming that early. But against Forest, you can't be conceding an early goal because then it's even more. To be fair, United created quite a few chances.
Yeah.
They did create a few chances. Forest didn't look brilliant, but it's just very naive to go 1-0 down against Nottingham Forest at the Forest ground. I think that's, if I hadn't spoke to Cass about it since the game, but that would be my frustration. It's, literally. I think United had a couple of chances, 2 chances before that as well. Yeah, 2 chances before that. Forest go the other end, score, and then that's it. It's wraps. It's wraps. But you lot got Spurs tonight, haven't you?
No, it's tomorrow.
Oh, it's Thursday, isn't it?
Yeah.
I never get Premier League games on Thursdays. It confuses the hell out of me.
Yeah.
You gonna win that?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, it's not going to be an easy game because Because when it comes to Chelsea Tottenham, it always be a spicy game. Like remember
Yeah,
what happened, last season, the red cards, going Tottenham went down to 9 man. Even look at this season, we were 2-0 down, but then we know we've won 4-3. So I think at Stamford Bridge, I don't think it's going to be the same high scoring goals, but I just know that it's going to be a great game to watch as a neutral. So, and plus, by the way, we have to win because I'm looking at the table right now. If you guys beat Leicester City tonight, you go above us. And also, let me just have a look. So
yeah.
yeah,
That's just
and
that's
also,
how it's going to be
and
to the
also
end of the season
Newcastle
now.
as well. Yeah, Newcastle with a game in hand, they could be above us as well. The same goes for Brighton. So we have to win on Thursday because we need to make Champions League football. There is no excuses. No excuses, man.
Do you think you will?
I hope so, but let's say that that our players return and we play the same way as we did against Arsenal, Southampton, and also Leicester City, then I don't see that happening. So we need to, like, the tactics need to really change it up. We need to make sure that we do well defensively and also attacking wise. We need to really step up because Jackson is back,
Is
but he
he is he
has
back?
scored a
Is he
lot of
is
yeah.
is he is he back?
Well, yeah, because I saw him I saw Jackson in training with his photos, so I'm not
Right,
sure if he's going to be
right.
starting.
Because this is a thing. We asked Arsenal fans about Saka so much. So I feel like every team needs to get it now. When they get a player back, we have to grill them the same way we grilled Arsenal fans about Saka.
Mm.
I just one bit of news I've seen as well. Sancho, Dortmund wants Sancho.
Yeah, saw that. Saw that links as well.
If there's anyone that knows in the comments, yeah, what is the deal with this? Do Chelsea get first refusal? Do Chelsea have to buy him, or can Dortmund just come in and take him? I mean, I don't know what the situation is there. Do you at all?
I'm not quite sure yet, but what I've heard is that if Dortmund wants to sign Sancho, then I feel like what we need to do is to pay 25 million. Like let's say that that Sancho goes to Dortmund. I think for me, what I'm thinking is that then Chelsea need to get Sancho back to United. Then United needs to sign let Dortmund sign him back. If you know what I mean. So I don't know
Right.
what the
Okay.
situation is, but that's what I'm thinking.
Okay. We will see. Right. I already see the Saka props in the comments. Saka more goals than Palmer and Foden in 2025. Took 6 minutes to restore the order. I'm not being funny. Like, please stop the comparisons between Saka and Foden at this point. Yeah. Last season, it was a comparison. It was a comparison, but still, let's be real. Like, Saka's levels above Foden at the moment. Yeah, comparing him to Foden is a bad place to be, man. Really, really bad place to be because Foden for me needs to be taken out the team for a while. So, but yeah, listen, Saka came on in the 65th, scored in the 73rd. I think he was on the pitch for 8 minutes. He got his goal. Yeah. And then he ran over, celebrated with the I think the fitness team. Fair play.
Yeah.
Fair play. Shows the impact he can make. Did you watch which game did you watch last night?
Oh, it's the Man United and Arsenal game.
Which game did you watch? Did you watch either of them?
Yeah, I watched both of them.
What, you had them both on?
Yeah.
Oh, sick. Okay. I wasn't sure. All right. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Arsenal made pretty easy work of Fulham. To be fair, I'm not going to lie. I don't. I mean, I know Fulham got the equal, got a last minute goal, but I watched the United game. But from what I saw of the highlights, it was nah, I don't see it. But the injuries. Let's talk about the injuries. Arsenal fans in the comments. Have you seen anything yet? Because I know Saka and Timber. Sorry, not Saka. Gabriel and Timber both came off injured. Has there been any news out of Arsenal yet? The Gabriel one for me looks bad because he pulled up,
Yeah.
and whenever a player pulls up, it's not looking good.
I'm not sure about the Timber one though,
Nah,
because
me
when
neither.
I saw him on the floor, and I'm like, this might be another injury, but he did come up, and he looked fit. So maybe it's not bad as the Gabriel one, but we're gonna have to see what the situation
Timber
of
one
Timber is, because
precautionary
if he gets
potentially. Yeah,
injured, then boy,
yeah.
that's also defense could be
But I
leaking
think,
goals.
yeah, I mean that could be why. That could be why they took Timber off precautionary potentially. I've
Mm,
just seen someone said he was sat on the bench afterwards. Yeah, with Gabriel going off injured, I think if you have any risks, you take him off, don't you? Because Timber will probably slot in at centre back. Well, it could be Ben White, or Timber will slot in at centre back next to Saliba
mm,
against Real Madrid. But I'm not going to lie, the Gabriel one is worrying because for me, Gabriel's been by a country mile Arsenal's best centre back this season.
mm,
I think Timber. To be fair, I think Timber's been pretty damn good as well.
yeah.
I don't think. I think Timber and Gabriel have both been better than Saliba this season. So yeah.
Yeah.
Andy, are you joining by the way? Because I want to get your take on the Forest game yesterday as well. Why do people get onto Ange for the hamstring injuries, but not on Arteta? Have Arsenal had as many hamstring injuries as Tottenham?
Not really,
I
no.
don't think so. I
No.
mean, I could be wrong, but yeah, I don't know. Caleb, if you can tell me all of the Arsenal hamstring injuries and then compare them to the Tottenham ones, but I would say probably because of the style of play Tottenham play with and the number of hamstring injuries you've got. But I could be wrong, but I think that's probably it. I think just because Gabriel's gone and got a hamstring injury and Saka had one, I don't think Arteta's overly renowned for giving Arsenal players hamstring injuries, is he? I don't think so, but I could be
No.
wrong. I could be wrong. Gabriel's missing both legs. Yeah, I feel like he
Yeah.
will be as well. And that second one at the Bernabeu, boy,
Yeah.
you need Gabriel there. You need Gabriel there.
Mm.
People, let's get those likes up. I know it's early, but 70 of you in here, please get those likes up. Tottenham have had 10 hamstring injuries. Right, there we go. Tottenham have had 10 hamstring injuries. Now, Caleb, as you mentioned this, I want you to tell me how many hamstring injuries Arsenal have had this season. Is it anywhere near that? And that probably answers your question, to be fair, because just because they've got one or two recently doesn't mean that it's comparable to Tottenham. Yeah. Did you Smith Rowe nearly got a dagger? Nearly got a
Yeah.
dagger against Arsenal yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know if he would have been happy or not if he would have scored that goal. But look, Saka's 35 minutes. Do you think he's played against Everton now?
I think he'll probably start though, but what I will say is that I feel like maybe Saka needs to rest against Everton because Real Madrid is a big game. You're facing one of the
Yeah.
biggest clubs in the world. So I feel like for me, probably rest Saka for the Everton game and then probably starting for the Real Madrid game because you don't want to keep starting this guy after he came back from injury, then, then he limps off again. So that's what I'll do.
Yeah. Do you know what? If anything, if I'm Arteta, I'd maybe give Saka a run out quite late in the second half just to
Mm,
get him a bit more match fit. The other reason I'd do that as well is you put him on from the start or you bring him on too early. Everton haven't got any cards. He might get a knock or two, right?
mm,
If you wait till later in the game when a few Everton players are already on cards, there's less chance of them putting in a bad tackle on Saka and bringing him down because you don't want to
mm,
risk him and get any knocks. And against Everton, there is a chance he might. So yeah, I would agree. I think he's come on yesterday, 35 minutes, more than probably a lot expected. Shown that he is fit, got the
mm.
goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you, I don't think I'd risk him too much again, Steven. Like I said, maybe
Mm,
15, 20 minutes at the end
yeah.
just for a bit of match fitness, but
Yeah.
don't risk him too much. It's not a game they must win. By the way, when are Liverpool playing?
Tonight against Everton.
Oh, fuck, it's a derby, isn't it? Yeah, at
Yeah,
Everton.
yeah.
Ooh,
No, it's at Anfield.
you sure?
Yeah, because remember 2-2 draw at Goodison
Yes,
Park.
it was. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. Sorry, I thought this was the rescheduled one. That was the
No.
rescheduled one, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, that. Oh, yeah, the last minute goal. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. All right. So, all right. Yeah. So, right, and then what was the other game? Andy, are you joining us? I really want to talk about the Forest United game. Are you about, Andy? Because you said you were going to join me, but anyway, anything else you want to talk on?
Um, oh yeah, Dabs. Yeah, I want to ask you because you're a City fan. How are you feeling about Haaland's injury? Because now he because of his ankle injury, he's gonna miss the rest of this season. But he could potentially, what I'm hearing, he could potentially feature for the Club World Cup. So, but yeah, how do you feel about Erling Haaland's injury now?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to miss the rest of the season. I think City have come out and said they expect him back before the end of the season. But
Okay,
he's certainly going to be out for about 4 to 5 weeks. I think they've said expect him back within 4 to 7 weeks. So,
okay.
um, how do I feel about it? He's scored 30 goals this season. Scored over 30 goals every single
Mm,
season in the Premier League. He's the best striker in the Premier League. I don't care what anyone says. We're going to miss him.
mm,
100% we're going to miss him. But it's come at a point where, if this came in November, December, we would have been completely fucked. I'm not mad at it because I know where we are this season. We're
mm,
not playing for much. We've got Marmouche. I feel like where we are and what I'm wanting to see at the moment, which is part of a rebuild, some new players. To me, I'm kind of like, well, all right, this is a perfect opportunity to see some other things.
mm,
Like if this was the back end of last season, I'd be absolutely livid because I'd be thinking, fuck, we're playing for a league here and we ain't got our gunman. But
mm,
because I do want to see more of Marmouche. I do want to see Oscar Bob feature at the back end of the season. Ideally, I would like to see a little bit of Echeverry. I would like to see Doku play a bit more. Um, there's a lot of reasons for me to want to see other players. The only thing is, he is clutch, and
mm.
uh, we still need to get Champions League football. So
True.
it is what it is. It is what it is.
Can I ask you another question,
I,
Dabs?
I, one thing I
Oh
would
yeah,
say
yeah.
is I would be more worried if one of our if say Diaz or Vardy or Kuzanov picked up an injury at the moment because we've already got three centre backs out. So
Yeah,
it's kind of one of them ones where, or if Gonzalez got injured, or yeah. I
yeah.
don't know. Do you know what? I don't know. I mean, if Marmouche got an injury, I'd be a bit pissed off because
Mm,
I want to see some of these. We're moving forward. We know what Haaland offers, and
mm,
this season's kind of a bit of a write off anyway. So is what it
yeah.
is.
Can I ask you
And yeah, go on.
can I ask you a question, Dabs? Like I asked this to many City fans and they agreed with me. Do you think that selling Juven Alvarez was the right decision? Because let's say that Haaland did get injured, but if Juven Alvarez would have stayed at City, I believe that he would have at least be like a backup striker
You know,
for
I
Erling
mean,
Haaland, if you know
no,
what I mean.
I do agree with selling Julian Alvarez because it wasn't a case of we put him on the transfer market. It's a case of he wanted to go. Like it wasn't,
Okay,
it wasn't, it wasn't. It's one of the. It's the same as the Cole Palmer question. Like
true.
it's for me. I think Pep is right. If a player wants to leave your club, don't keep him because he's not going to play to his full potential. Right.
Okay.
Like I've never seen a player that wants to leave a club play to their full potential. So it was a case of Alvarez wanted to leave. So I don't know, man. I'm like, if we would have kept Alvarez, he would have been a bit part player this season. He wouldn't have been happy. So yeah, no, I don't. I'm not happy that Alvarez wanted to leave. By the way, but Alvarez
Mm,
wanted to leave. So it's one of them. It's the same as the Cole Palmer thing. Um, yeah, if players want to leave, you don't keep them. You don't force them to stay. So
true. Yeah.
do you know what? It's even the same as the Edin Dzeko thing back in the day. I never wanted Dzeko to leave our club, but he knew he had Aguero in front of him, so he wanted to go and become the number one striker somewhere.
Mm,
So, Andy, I'll put the link in here now. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I wish Alvarez would have stayed and he's having a great season. But
Yeah.
you have to let players. If players want to go, you have to let them go.
Mm.
It's simple as that.
Yeah.
Simple as that. I bet you lot would love to got Alvarez. Actually, he'd be cooking.
Of course.
Fucking hell,
Of
he would be
course.
cooking at your club. Jesus.
Of course.
Who do
But
you want actually?
I mean, as a
Or are you
striker,
happy with Jackson still?
I mean, Jackson, is a good player, but for me, we still need a striker because Jackson, he's good at the pace and his link-up play, but the only problem is that his finishing is absolutely poor. It
Yeah,
really is
yeah,
poor. So that's why for me, we need to get a striker. Obviously, I'll keep Jackson, but for me, I don't think Jackson is good enough to like lead the line. So we need to
no.
get an experienced striker like Vic. Like I know Victor Coquelin might be coming to us, might be coming to Arsenal, but there's Victor Osimhen available. There's so many great strikers available. So that's why in the summer I'll keep Jackson, but we still need a prolific and experienced striker.
You're gonna get Delap.
I mean, Delap is not a bad player, but for me, he's just I don't. I'm
He's
I
not prolific and he's not
no
experienced.
no. That's
He is a good player.
yeah
I can vouch for him. He's a good player.
yeah
He can play with both feet. He's got a lot of different aspects to his game. He's
yeah
strong as well. But I do hear you. I think it's another one. And the reason I say I think you'll get him is Joe Shields gets what he wants, and Joe Shields will want Delap. Delap and Cole Palmer have got Delap, Lavia, Cole Palmer. That's part of a very successful City academy that won a lot of trophies. So, but I do think you'll end up getting Delap. Andy, you're here, but I can't see your camera again. Got to make sure it's you. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess you might get Delap and a backup, maybe.
let's hope.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, listen,
yeah.
I'm going to let Andy join now. Appreciate you
All right.
jumping on.
Thank you, Dad.
Catch up with you soon.
Yeah.
Love, love, love. Right, there is 72 people of you watching. The likes need to go up. People, please, please, please. I don't want to keep asking. It's an early morning show. We're trying to get this show going. Please, can you hit that like button? Doesn't cost you a penny, and it's going to help push this channel out to more people. Get the algorithms cooking because it's a new show, new time. So please just check. Let me see if any of you have listened to me. 8 of you have. Thank you. Make another 8 of you listen to me. Please go and hit that like button right now. And we have a Nottingham Forest fan to join us. Good morning, Wolves F1, one of our most loyal members. Andy, what are you saying? Nice fake there. What are you saying? Andy? Andy?
Is it lagging again?
You're lagging again.
No, right, no.
Hold on. Let's just test this quickly. Say 1.
1.
Yeah, that's not too bad. We can work with that. You happy?
Very happy, mate. And Cass is very sad, so I'm really happy.
Do you know what he is? Last night, I went up to bed. I go to bed quite early, but I could hear him ranting and raving last night. I haven't watched the stream from last night, but I presume Wolfie was on, and I presume Wolfie rattled him massively.
Oh, yeah. I watched a quick half hour of it this morning, obviously on my way to work and that. He lost his head in the first 5 minutes.
Oh, really?
Literally lost it. Even, like, obviously, you can see the comments when you're watching the video, can't you? When they're coming through, and
yeah.
I'm watching it, and obviously I'm seeing the comments, and Kaz has admitted himself he lost his head at that point, but it's all banter.
Do you know what? Watching the game with Cass is an experience as well, by the way, for anyone that doesn't. Watching a game with Cass, some of the things that he calls the players is absolutely hilarious, right? You know, when someone's just ranting and they're swearing and they don't even know what words they're saying, it's some of the things that he calls the players. But yeah. Do you know what? I just think it's so naive from them lot to concede an early goal to you lot. It's just, yeah. You just can't do it. You can't concede
the
it.
best thing about it is,
Go on.
the best thing about it is, I'm going to repeat what Wolfie said to Kaz last night on stream.
Yeah, go on.
85 meters in 9 seconds that boy ran. 9 seconds in 85 meters. Not one tackle. Like, if any team in that right mind then would be yanking down the shorts, as Kaz says, every time, they would have done something. They'd have took a booking. Like, even when Garnacho went in for the tackle, nowhere near him. Like, second he scored that goal, you could see the fear in United when Elanga got on that ball. They were terrified of him.
Yeah. 100%. You're spot on. I mean, it was Garnacho that was running with him. Garnacho tried to put a tackle in.
Yep.
But it's one of those. I remember, I think it was against Liverpool, quite a few, when Bernardo Silva had first joined City, Liverpool broke into our half, almost in an identical position, right? And Bernardo Silva was running with the player, trying to catch up with him and win the ball fairly. Fernandinho came running past Bernardo Silva and just grabbed the player and pulled him down. And then looked at looked at Bernardo Silva. And as they walked off, he took a yellow. And as he walked off, he just goes to Bernardo Silva, just pull him down. Pull him down around the halfway line.
I do want even better, Dabs, right? Every England supporter or every England international supporter will remember this. What happened when we faced Italy? What happened to Saka? It's easily done. You just take the booking, and then that makes a 50-50 chance.
I mean, the Saka one was mad because that should have been a penalty. But exactly that. But the most important thing is you do it almost straight away. You don't wait till they get deep into your half. You do it almost straight away. So yeah. But yeah, I think there's another dagger. The fact it was Elanga as well.
I think it's a double effect, if you want my honest opinion. The fact, obviously, that it was Elanga, it did kind of annoy me that he didn't celebrate, even though Manu.
Oh, did he not? Did he not?
He went to go point at the Adidas logo because obviously Manu was sponsored by Adidas as well, and that's what he's been doing in his celebrations. In case you hadn't noticed, he keeps pointing at the Adidas logo. So I think it's a bit
is he trying to get? I don't know if he's trying to get more money.
Well, it's either more money or it's a pun at bloody Man U because they're sponsored by him as well, aren't they? But I think the other one is the fact that Manchester United have given Nottingham Forest Champions League football now.
Yeah. Do you know what? I actually thought about this last night because I was saying, ideally I wanted a United win, which is mad.
Yeah, no, I watched the stream when I got back from work. I saw you saying that.
But when I'm thinking about it, you're third. I know you're a bit in the, but at no point this season really did I think I'd catch up with you lot. So really? I think it's fourth. Well, at the start of the season, I definitely fucking did. Of course I did. Right? But since December, January, it's you. Yeah. Once you've moved into third place, I kind of thought now it's fourth or fifth that we're getting. To be honest with you,
I'll heel to this. I was one of the Forest fans when we had our little wobble. I thought, here we go, typical Nottingham Forest. This is the fall off. This is where it's going to happen, and it didn't. It generally didn't happen, and I'm so chuffed with the fact as well that we've gone through 3 times. I think it was you that said it, Daps. In the FA
3 times on penalties,
3 times on penalties. Mentally. Now, mentally for players, what has that done? They think they're unstoppable right now. I mean,
Oh, you don't want them on penalties. You've won them. If we get you on penalties in the semi-final, you've won before a penalty is taken.
Well, truthfully, we need to get there first. There first.
You're there. You're at the semis. No, you're at the semis.
Yeah, we're in the semis. We got you.
Oh, yeah. Get to penalties. Now, we're not allowing them to go to penalties. No way can we allow that to go to penalties. No way.
Gotta get there first. Like, don't get me wrong. Even with your dicky run and everything else like that, with Haaland being out for you, that is a blessing in disguise. I don't care what anybody says. Haaland, compared to the past 2 seasons, has been like a volcano. this season he's been like a smouldering ember compared to the past 2 seasons. He really has.
Nah, I disagree with you. To be honest with you,
Nah. Like,
I mean, go and look at. Nah, because you've got to remember, right? So this is a thing. This is where I'll defend Haaland. That the one narrative everyone has had on Haaland, right, for the previous 2 seasons is the number of goals he has scored. Yeah. But look at the team he's playing with, right? Which is a fair comment. This season, right, we have been shocking. The chances we have created has been shocking, right? Yep. Now, yes, Haaland has had a few patches this season where he's been a bit off, but he's had that the previous 2 seasons, right? None of the three seasons he's been at City, he's been firing all season long. Look at the number of goals Haaland has scored this season with a midfield that is not functioning correctly.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you with that, Daps, at all. What I'm saying is, on the different style in the playing from the past 2 seasons to this season, Haaland, the past 2 seasons, had a lot more of the hold-up of the ball, was a lot more clinical with his finishing. The one-touch shooting that he did was unbelievable in the stats, and it's nowhere near this season.
But again, hold on. But even on the hold-up play, he's holding the ball up more this season than he has the previous 2 seasons because he's dropping a bit deeper this season. He's been dropping deeper this season. No, he's been dropping deeper. He's actually been getting more involved in the game this season than he has the previous 2. The clinical side.
You watch City a lot more than me. I watch the highlights.
Honestly, for me, this will sound mad because Haaland's first season, obviously, he was nominated for the Ballon d'Or. For me, Haaland's first season, the treble season, he was nominated City's best player. For me, that season, Rodri was our best player. Right, last season, Foden won Player of the Season. I would probably agree. This season, for me, it would be Haaland or Vardy has been our best player. Haaland this season has been ran into the ground as well. That's something to say as well.
That's possibly where I'm looking at it then.
Yeah, he has been, and the injury did not come from him being run into the ground, but he has been absolutely ran into the ground this season. And yeah, I guess I'd probably say we should be thankful that he's got an impact injury this season and he hasn't pulled up with a hamstring injury, the amount he's played. Yeah. So,
but that's a madness in itself. If you want to speak about hamstring injuries, what's Arsenal doing bringing out a full squad? Like, what they're doing, they got Real Madrid soon.
Yeah. Well, Saka proved it. Saka proved he's fit. Proved everyone that's been questioning him is fit. Yep. In fact, because I watched the United Forest game, anyone in the comments that watched the Arsenal game, what was his movement like? What was Saka's movement like throughout the game? Can anyone say? I mean, he looked fine to me. From what I've seen, he looked perfectly fine. But the Gabriel injury is not good for them, is it? Very bad.
No.
That's an issue. Yeah, he looked good. Someone's saying he looked good. Okay. Yeah, the Gabriel injury, that's an issue, a massive issue.
They've been really solid at the back. Missing him is going to be like a massive chink in the armour, that is.
For me, Gabriel is at this point the second best defender in the league. You might have something to say about that, to be fair, because you might want to put a couple of your boys up there. But
you know the 2 that I'm going to say straight away, don't you? I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm going to go off centre-back pairing. And I'm not talking about one with another, then another with another. I'm on about 2 all season long, Murillo and Milinkovic. They're like a bus. You can hardly get through them. I'd agree. Are like a bus.
I would agree as a pairing. I think you're right. As a pairing, I think best pairing in the Premier League this season. Yeah. I wouldn't disagree with you on that because I think Saliba's been a bit... I don't think Saliba's been anywhere near as good as Gabriel this season. Anywhere near. I actually think Timber potentially has been a better defender this season than Saliba. So actually, I don't know if anyone's seen this. City being linked with Saliba.
Really?
Yeah. Seen it, read it a few times. Apparently that City, because of Saliba's contract, because I think, am I right? Has he got a year or 2 left?
He's got 2 years left.
Yeah, and the fact that Madrid might be sniffing, I think City have just thought, you know what, let's just test them. Let's just test them and test Saliba.
Tell you what,
Yeah,
that's
and anyone saying April 1st, it's April the 2nd, and it wasn't yesterday that I read it. It was 3 days ago that I read it. So, but look, I don't think he'll leave, and I don't think Arsenal would sell to City. But I'm just saying, City are considering testing them. I don't think Arsenal would sell to City. I'll be honest with you.
The way I was going nowadays in this Premier League, if they sell to any rival club, let's say the so-called Big Six, they're going to whack 20% off the initial price that they offer, regardless of the price. Yeah. So it's a lot easier and a lot less of a farce if they just go overseas, because they're not even going to see the player unless they're in the Champions League or the Euro Cup. Let's be real about it. So for that, it's a no-brainer, and I can see why people are starting to look at Serie A, the Bundesliga, and all that. They're trying to get all these players in, because compare them two leagues. I don't mean this disrespectfully. I do watch them both. They have got some fantastic teams, some fantastic players. But if you compare them two leagues compared to the Premier League, they don't hold a candle. And I'm sorry if anybody finds that disrespectful, but that's just my opinion. They don't hold a candle. They don't.
What, the Bundesliga and La Liga?
No, Serie A.
Oh, Serie A, yeah. Well, I mean, ultimately with Serie A, it's just yeah.
But I can understand why people have been looking over there. I mean, like, I'm with Wolfie. I'm still wind up that you got our player that we could have signed for 25 million. I'm still wind up over that. I am. I really am wind up over that.
Kuznetsov.
Yeah. I'm like, we was in charts and everything else. Like, don't get me wrong, we're just starting to re-establish our old name like we were back in the day and stuff like that. But you're Man City. You 4 times in a row. You've done the quadruple, 100-odd points and everything else. Who isn't going to go there right now with the history you've got right now? Let's be real about it.
Right now, yeah. We'll see, though. I mean, look, if we don't get Champions League football, it's going to make our summer a bit more difficult.
Come on, Leon. Come on, Leon.
And the thing is, if we don't get Champions League football, I'm intrigued to see what happens. And at the moment, Champions League football for us is tonight. If I'm being honest, let's just talk on tonight quickly.
Yep.
I can't see anything but a City win. It's Leicester at home.
Yeah, it's an easy win.
I think it's probably the perfect game for us to work out how we're going to play for the next 4 to 6 weeks without Haaland. So it is probably the perfect game to get Marmoush probably playing through the middle, maybe playing in a false 9. I think it will probably be Foden and Marmoush up top, with kind of Foden in the 10 role, Marmoush in a kind of false 9 type role. But then we've got United at the weekend, and that game for me is, I predict we get 3 points, but the game against Manchester United, that is so big in whether we get Champions League football or not.
No, it is, because it's kind of what you were saying. I think it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before in the streams, where I believe the whole panel was on about, because it's a derby, it doesn't really matter about form. Form goes out the window. It's a derby totally. At the end of the day. So it's
and this is the thing. Whereas with, like, I get, like, say there's a derby tomorrow night between Tottenham and Chelsea, but if you look at that, it's Chelsea just dominate Tottenham every season. With this City United derby, and I'm not just meaning recent times, I'm meaning if you go back to when Man United were winning trebles, we were still beating them in derbies, right? Yeah. It's City United has always been, it can go either way because it's just a derby. And it is one. It is one of those derbies that really is. I mean, you know, FA Cup final last year.
I was just about to say that the FA Cup final, I'm not going to lie, I put 20 quid on you to win it with a fucking Haaland to score a hat-trick.
Yeah, exactly. Footy Corner. I don't know who is Footy Corner. Footy Corner. I recognise Footy Corner. I'm sure I know who Footy Corner is. But say mid-off derby, whoever you support, there's probably one team that can call City and United a mid-off. One team, and that's probably Liverpool, right? Apart from that, there's no team in English football that can call Manchester City and Manchester United a mid-off, right? Especially, so you support Arsenal and you're talking about City and United being a mid-off when we're talking about City and United derby over the years, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So the two teams that have won a treble, the teams that have done a three-peat and a four-peat, and you think that's a mid-off?
Can I have my two Champions
no,
stars
hold
in
on.
there?
Hold
Can I
on.
have my
He
two
said,
Champions stars?
fair enough. My bad. He was talking about Chelsea Spurs. All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
No, but
Yeah,
truthfully, like
yeah, sure you are.
everybody's expecting Chelsea to walk through Tottenham, and this is my honest opinion. If we're going on the whole bloody James Maddison and Bruno Fernandes argument again, is it really going to be that much easy for Chelsea to walk through?
Do you know what? I think the international break is maybe doing Chelsea a little bit of a favour.
Well, it did United a favour. Did you see their passes? They were crisp.
Yeah. United, I'm not going to lie, United created a few chances against you. Yeah,
they did.
yeah.
I'd say a good half hour was all United in that game.
I see Garnacho's getting a lot of. I've seen Saeed's absolutely killing Garnacho. Look, I'm not a fan of Garnacho. I think Garnacho is
don't
everything I don't want in a football player. And I was going to say, by the way, I've seen people having the debate about Elanga, like, would Elanga get in the United team? For me, Elanga would start over Garnacho.
Yeah, definitely.
Garnacho's everything I do not want in a football player. He's got raw ability, but it's like he's got this. He's obsessed with being the fucking hero. He is obsessed with being the hero.
He's like Anthony. He's obsessed with being that star man, that center of attention.
Yeah, and I've said to Cass before, Amarin needs to grab hold of him and just tell him, you know what? Sometimes you don't need to score the goal in the position, even more so in the position you play. Sometimes you can get ratings by just being the pass before the pass. Like, you don't even need to be the guy getting the assist. Just work for the fucking team. I'm surprised. The one reason why I do think Amarin maybe might still want to keep hold of him is he might see something in him, right? But he needs this arrogance trained out of him as quickly as possible. Like, because this arrogance is too much.
See, I don't think it's necessarily just down to the arrogance being trained out of him or that. I generally do believe as well it's the players that he's got around him. I mean, if you want to take in a deeper road, look how Cristiano Ronaldo, when he came, he was kind of the same. He was just trying to do all these kind of tricks. Of trying to take on multiple men when he came in first season, everything else. Roy Keane got him to his side, grabbed him by scruffling neck, told him what's what, and then look what happened next season after that. Then the season after that. Then the 09 season, that not even nobody's done since football. Not even Messi's done what he did in that season. So let's leave that one there. And that all it took was the players around him to grab him and hold him and say, listen, we play as a team. It is not a one-man crew.
Yeah. That is exactly it. And every time I watch him, like, the mad thing is, it almost seems as well that if he comes off the bench, he impacts the game, right? He does come on the pitch and he impacts the game, right? But he just always, whenever he starts the game, he just always seems to be constantly going for glory. Back to, I can see the chat final boss, a couple of Chelsea in here talking. If we go back to before the international break, Chelsea were in very bad form, right?
Yep.
They've had the international break. If we remove where Spurs are for a minute, and remove this derby thing, let's just think about what Spurs do. Spurs are one of these teams that, however bad their form is, when they play bigger teams, they somehow get something.
And they score a lot of goals.
Yeah. I can see Spurs getting a last-minute winner here, and I don't know why.
Truthfully, the thing is, do you know when I was watching it, again, back to Never a Foul on the panel, everybody was, I think it was when VD and Thingy kicked off, actually, now I remember about it. Yeah, it was them. And that was funny, that made me laugh.
It was no, it was awkward. It was awkward because
I know. I could see a second that went up. I could just see the whole panel just looking like a cat. Like, oh,
are
here
you
we
meaning
go.
with VD and are you meaning with VD and Catch?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know why it was awkward? Because for me, VD got in his feelings way too quickly, right?
Mm,
But knowing VD's Cass's cousin, it was
Yeah.
like, I know Cass can't allow this to, and it was like, oh god. And the frustrating thing was that VD wasn't fucking dropping it, and it was like, drop
No.
it for your cousin, because otherwise you're getting your cousin involved in something. Just fucking drop it.
Just leave it alone. It's football.
Yeah, but
talk
what were you
at the end of
saying?
the day. Fuck me.
Oh, well, he got rattled then because straight away he was going on about what Arsenal have won and whatever. But it was like, that's nothing to do with this conversation at all.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I want the Spurs win.
You lot, but I must admit, awkward for you a lot, but it was entertainment for us.
Oh well, it always is. It always is. Always is. What other games are there tonight? So Liverpool Everton. Let's just talk Liverpool Everton. What do you think on that one? Liverpool win?
No. Truthfully, this is just again being an outsider. I think the whole Trent thing is disturbed the dressing room. I really freaking do, because it's caused a bit of a chain effect with Van Dijk, with Salah, because they've not put pen to paper on anything yet. I know Monts is a bit. I know he's calmed down from the whole Trent situation now after he's had his little cry on his door and everything. But I generally do see Everton getting a draw or a win out of this, because since Moyes has come back, they've looked like a different team altogether.
Yeah, they have. They really have. Do you know what? Fair play as well. I like that as well. Have you seen what Moyes has said? Moyes is not willing to go and have a look at the new ground until Everton is safe. So he hasn't gone to look. He hasn't gone to look at the ground yet. He said he's not going to look at it until he knows that they're playing it in the Premier League.
Well, why does he need to look at the ground? Is he a construction worker? Is he a construction worker? No, he's a fucking manager. Stay where you play.
Do you know what? Actually, I've seen as well. I've seen that already. I think someone I know has got tickets to go to a rugby game at Everton's new ground.
Have you really?
Yeah. I think that's pretty shit, you know.
Yeah, well, you can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to copy revenue and stuff like that.
But give it a season. Give it a season with Everton playing on it before you start doing that. But I guess they have to bring the money in. But yeah, I don't know. I could see an Everton draw tonight. I could see a draw. Sorry, not an Everton draw, but ultimately it would be an Everton draw. On the Trent thing, how do you feel the Liverpool fans are reacting to it? Have you gone? You've gone. Worst possible time. He has gone, isn't he? Andy, let me know if you're coming back on. I'll remove you. And then, right, 96 people in here, 48 minutes gone. Please check those like buttons are lit. 108 likes, not bad. Ratio's good. Ratio could be even better. Please check your like button is lit. It will help to make this show. Look, we're obviously not hitting the numbers that we do on our main shows later in the day. Rightfully so. People are at work, people are at school, people don't know we're streaming, people are sleeping. However, the more you hit that like button, the more this video will be pushed out to new viewers, get new viewers on, and hopefully we can build this show into something. Like I said, it's going to be every single morning at 8:30. The like ratio is ratioing, you're right, but I want it to ratio even more. We want to make this show something. This is now literally my bread and butter. For those that don't know, I'm now... Why's my cat wonky? And I'm not going to lie, this morning, I because I didn't have to drop my daughter to bed, to school this morning, because she stayed with her mum last night. So I was lying in bed thinking, am I getting up? Am I not? Looked at my phone, see Cass had set up the thumbnail, thought I'm definitely getting up. So let's get this show popping every single weekday morning. It's going to get even more popping during the summer when there's transfer news. There's going to be a lot of transfer news, certainly with my club. But yeah, right. What's people? Yeah, let me just ask you. Like, I might be. In fact, let me put the link in it. If anyone else does want to join, here is the link for the last 15. Cameras must be turned on. Have you guys thought to maybe do studio watch-alongs for big games? Hannah, we were doing them. We do them on Big Up, so we don't do them. Do you know what it is? Watch-alongs are a different type of algorithm, and all the main players do the watch-alongs on YouTube. You know, you've got Saeeds, you've got your Rants, you've got your Big Six now, you've got your LB for City, and that's their bread and butter. So we leave them to it. We don't want to fuck up the algorithms. So yeah, we do. If you want to see our watch-alongs, we do them on Big Up. But yeah, maybe in the future me and Cass might on our own individual channels. In fact, do you know what? I'm going to give you the link to my channel as well. Let me go and get that quickly. Where are we? Where are we? Why not? People, please subscribe to the link I am posting right now. This is my own personal channel. Mine and Big Steve's. Please make sure you're subscribing to that as well. Big Up is a bit undeveloped. Yeah, I do hear you, Final Boss. I do hear you. Yeah, I do hear you. Where's this Catch VD thing? I missed it. The Catch VD thing was, when was that? Was it Sunday? I think it was a show on Sunday. Yeah, if you just go and check out the shows on Sunday, I think we only did one show on Sunday. So go and check that out. It's that one. It's all cool. It's all cool. Everything's blessed. It wasn't that deep. Trust me, it's not like one of my meltdowns. It's just a petty argument. Catch told VD to grow up. Or maybe VD told Catch to grow up and it just went a little bit left. Not far left. Was it Monday? Appreciate that, Castro. Right, yeah, I want to ask everyone's opinion. What is everyone's opinion on how Liverpool have reacted? Andy's back. Here we go. Perfect. Andy, you're back. Yeah. What's your opinion?
Overheated.
That's right. Yesterday on the stream, the camera kept overheating. It kept shutting down. What is your opinion on the way the Liverpool fans have reacted to the Trent leaving?
I can understand that he came from the academy and everything else like that, but at the same time, I generally do not know what their grop is. He did everything that the club asked him to do. They won him titles. That, like, for me, to this day, whenever I think of Champions League,
he's gone again. Andy, you've gone again. You've gone again. I think I know what you were saying. Whenever you think about Liverpool in the Champions League, you think about Trent. Yeah, he's gone again. He's definitely gone again. Might have overheated again.
I mean,
Yeah, you are gone, Andy.
now.
Oh. No, he's gone. He's gone. Still chatting about Trent. Yeah, we are. Do you know what it is, bro? Listen, we're having a conversation. We're just having a conversation. That is all. I would imagine you're probably a Liverpool fan, so a little bit butthurt. But oh, now my camera's gone. Yeah, it's the day of overheating. Right, at this point, people, we're going to wrap it up here because it looks like it's a day of overheating. We will be back with the midday show with the usual panel. Appreciate you all tuning in. Make sure you smash a like on the way out, and we will see you later. Peace.